Hey everybody, welcome. It is Monday at 7 p.m. and we are in Port Richey, Florida at the beautiful WeBeam TV studios for our 16th or 17th episode of 62 Who Knew. Tonight we have a great show for you, but before I give you, I usually start with what 62 Who Knew is for our new viewers, but before we go any further, there is a new person at the table. This is our co-host, Miss Nada Chiarito. Nada has just joined my mortgage company, Professional Mortgage Alliance, as our Senior Vice President, and she is going to help me spread our blue ocean business model of bringing financial advisors, insurance agents, long-term care providers into the mortgage industry. Great business model. That's not what tonight's about, but she's going to be a co-host pretty often. Welcome to TV.
Thank you so much.
She's never been on TV.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to have fun with this.
Absolutely.
So just a quick scenario for those new viewers. 62 Who Knew is a television show based on the concept that longer lifespans, with all its great advantages, is really a double-edged sword for most of us out there trying to figure out how we're going to get from 62, which is when most people think of retiring. I mean, we plan for it, but when you get to that 60 part, you're thinking, wow, it's getting closer and closer. Should I take my Social Security now? Should I defer it? Should I have bought long-term care insurance earlier? Do I need more life insurance? Should I have canceled my life insurance? There's just so many things to think about, because the truth is, if you make it to 62 in this country, you have a 50-50 chance of making it to 90. And literally 1% of this country has enough cash reserves to live a quality of life for the next 28 years to get from 62 to 90. The rest of us are trying to figure out what to do. We're writing mortgages, we're hosting TV shows, we're doing all sorts of stuff to try and have a quality retirement. And every guest we have on is leading towards that. If it's not financial, it's about excellent care and protection of those years between 62 and 90. And pretty soon, it won't even be 90. As you know from our show 7, I think, when we had a guest from the Weizmann Institute in Israel, longer lifespans is something we're going to have to get used to, and the medical advancements in the next few years, next decade, is probably going to have us closer to living to 100. Is that amazing to think about? So without further ado, I want to give you a little bio on our guest. I'm not going to give you the whole thing because she has an extensive background, but her name is Miss Carol Chiarito. She began her career in insurance and financial services in 2004. A former teacher, coach, and education became the foundation. Education became the foundation of her business model, educating and guiding clients using classroom techniques to teach them. And before we bring her on, just like so many people, what allowed her to create, or what motivated her to create Care Match America, which is so incredible, was when she was taking care of her mom. So many experts like her got into this field after caring for a loved one. So let's welcome Miss Carol Chiarito. Carol, how are you? And thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. I'm doing
Thank
well.
you for joining us.
Hi, Carol.
I have a co-host.
Hello
I have
there.
to apologize for the clearing of the throat and coughing, but it's just here for a while. You know, we were introduced by Mr. Keith Gillies, the president of NAFA, both of our favorite organizations. And he said, just go look at this person's website. Just look. And as soon as I looked at it, I went, this is 62 Who Knew. This is what I want 62 Who Knew to grow up to be, your website. It's just incredible. Tell us a little bit more about your background and how you decided to create, this incredible platform.
Well, I think, thanks again for having me on, Michael. And I think that you gave a good introduction into a little bit of the reason that I brought Care Match America to life. But as I was creating financial plans for people and helping people create their life insurance needs should they die, because it's easy to convince people that they're probably going to die. That's not a hard thing to do. But to get people to understand that they might need long-term care is a whole lot harder to do. And the one thing that can ruin a whole financial plan is the long-term care need. And so what I found, though, is that even if people did buy the long-term care, that's it. I didn't really have a plan other than just wait for them to call and tell me when they needed to use it, I guess. And I started really thinking about that when things started happening with my mom. When my mom started showing signs of dementia and then later on Alzheimer's, and I needed to find a place for her to live, not because of her dementia at that time. She was a very social kind of person, and she was not like the majority of the people in America who want to stay at home as they age. She actually wanted to go live somewhere else. She wanted to live around people, and she wanted to be able to walk down the hall and go get her hair done and her nails done and play bingo with the ladies and chat about their medicines or whatever it is they chat about. But what I found was the search for the right place for her was ridiculously hard. And I'm thinking, I was pretty smart being from the industry. So I thought, how do people who don't even know what I know go through this? And as a financial advisor, I should know this journey a whole lot better, not just the product at the end of the road, but I should actually know where people should begin to look and how to have conversations with their children about what it is they want so they can find the perfect match later. So hence CareMatch America.
And it is incredible. I know we're going to throw up that website, before the end of the show, so people can look for it. And what I find amazing is that it's not just consumer facing. You're training financial advisors on the right thing to do, because it's amazing how many of them don't know what to do, which actually leads us to our second question.
Yeah, can you explain to us the CareMatch Concierge service and how it works?
Well, again, when I was looking for the right place for my mom, I started looking for an assisted living because that's what I thought she needed, was an assisted living. Come to find out, she didn't even qualify for an assisted living. I didn't even know you needed to qualify for an assisted living. What she needed was an independent living. I never even heard of this thing at the time.
Can you explain the difference between that for our viewers?
An independent living is somewhere where you go and live independently. You don't need any help with your medications. You don't need any help. You can even cook if you want. Most independent living have apartments where you can cook and clean and take care of yourself. But you have the option of coming down and having lunch with the others, etc. And you have, it's more like I call it a college type dorm room, is what I used to tease her, that she was in a college dorm. So, and then assisted living is just what the name says. You need assistance with something, one of the 5 ADLs, and activities of daily living. If you need help getting up or sitting down or reusing the restroom or showering or your medications or cooking or eating, those are the activities of daily living. And if you need assistance with those, then you need an assisted living. And so what I found was the assisted living didn't care that my mom didn't need the assisted living.
Right.
They would have taken her, and they would have taken double the money that she really should have been spending in the independent living. And they wouldn't probably have bothered to tell me that, hey, by the way, you're paying too much money here. You need to go over down the road and pay less. So as a financial advisor, I feel like some of our clients may be making the wrong kinds of choices and spending too much money before they need to. So going back to your question about the concierge, when I was looking for my mom and where I started was, actually, if I have to admit it, I started on the yellow pages. Remember those?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. So that's where I started. And there's 10 or 15 pages worth of choices. So what are you supposed to do? Call every single one of them? The one distinct thing that my mom needed was a place that would allow her to keep her dog. She had a little dog. And that was the most important thing. She didn't care where she was going to live, but it had to be with the dog. So all I wanted to know was where could I find a place that would take her in Pueblo, Colorado, and let her keep her dog. Well, the Yellow Pages didn't tell me that.
Absolutely
So I
not.
went to where every good American would go. Can you guess? Google. I went to Google, and I Googled it. And guess what?
I want you to hold that thought. I'm sorry for the interruption. Our first segment goes so quick. I'm so sorry between introductions. But remember exactly where you are. We're going to run to a break. I know that little dog is important. It would be to me. So that's a biggie. But we'll be right back.
One bee that loves going to the dentist. I love Dr. B.
At Dr. B Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the individuality of each child
And they also teach us how to take care of our teeth.
and offer an exceptional and gentle dental care experience for all children. With our laser procedures, we are able to provide gentler treatments and faster healing time.
Come meet Dr. B. I'll be calorie-free.
Call Dr. B's Pediatric Dentistry today.
Hi, my name is Mike Banner, and in addition to being the host of the 62 Who Knew television show, I am also the president of Professional Mortgage Alliance, where our passion is helping seniors entering retirement purchase their dream retirement home without the obligation of a monthly principal and interest payment. Please call me at 727-224-3859 or visit my website at professionalmortgagealliance.com.
Hi, my name is Lisa Marie Kennedy, your real estate expert here in the Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton area. I spent years developing myself, studying the industry so I can serve you and communicate with you the best way possible in your real estate transaction. My phone number is 941-807-2054, or please visit my website at lisamariekennedy.com.
Alrighty, we're back. Let's bring Carol back up and remember exactly where we were, trying to find a place for her mom and bring the little dog, because you have to bring the dog.
That's
I agree
right.
with us.
No one wants to leave their dog.
No one wants to.
So I said that the Yellow Pages didn't get me anywhere, so I went to Google.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to Google, what do you get? Pages and pages.
Millions.
And you can scroll through forever. What am I supposed to do? Click on each one of them and, call each one of them? No. So as I was driving down the highway, I came up with the idea that finding a place for care or finding a place to move should be as easy as finding a hotel. It should be just like hotels.com. I should be able to, am I supposed to plug them? Anyway, I did.
Yeah. I hope you get a check for that. Your check's in the mail from hotels.com. Don't worry.
I called my son, who is a webmaster, and I said, can we make a website that will do this? And he said yes. And within a week or two, we had something put together as a prototype, and we went from there. But the whole idea is that the one thing that I did do when I did Google is I clicked on a link because this link seemed to have all the answers that I needed. All I had to do was give them my name, address, and phone number and my email address, and then they were going to let me into their information bank. And so guess what? I did that, and guess what?
A lot of spam.
Yeah.
No, within the next 5 minutes, my phone began to ring because that company gave my name, address, and phone number to all of the assisted livings here in my area within about a 50 to 100 mile radius. So my phone began to ring, and it rang for about 45 minutes, call after call after call. And that is what I decided, that our seniors and their families deserve much more than just to be a referral on someone's list.
So true.
That they're going to call us and call us and call us and try to lure us in to come and visit their place. That's just not the way we do business nowadays. So I created the CareMatch Concierge, which is when someone contacts us, either through our website or by phone, we go through what we call the situation list, and we ask them what is their situation, what is their story. Do they have a little dog? What kinds of needs do they need? And we help guide them in the direction where they should be looking. So as I stated earlier, in my case, I was looking for the wrong thing for months. And so if I would have had someone like a CareMatch Concierge to say, oh, you should be looking at an independent living, and here, let me give you 2 or 3 in your area that you might like to call. We won't give them your information and have them call you. That's not what we do. So we become kind of a marketing partner with the facilities and the care communities so that we have their information at hand, and we can give that out to the people who are calling on our concierge. And even if they don't call, our people who can come to the website and be able to compare their favorites. They could save some of their places that they like, that they see information about, save it to their favorites, compare 2 or 3, share it with their brothers or sisters who live across the country, because families don't live in one city anymore. So it's really designed to be less intrusive, but it's designed to be more family oriented, get the family involved in decision making and be absolutely non-referral.
And you've had some great success stories when we met in Orlando. Before we go to the next question, share 1 or 2 of those success stories. I mean, because I thought they were kind of incredible. It's, you know, when you share a success story in business, or I did this, I made this sale, that's one thing. But when it's about an older person, everybody just goes, oh my God, that's my mother, that's my father, that's my oldest uncle. It's something that's very close to everybody's heart.
Well, I can tell you something actually that is really related a little bit to you, Michael, and what your process is, because we got a call in from a man who was worried about his mother. They're not sure what they're going to do because they just can't afford to take care or to keep paying for her in-home care service. And he's, what am I going to do? We're about ready to spend down all of her money. She does not want to move out of her home. She wants to stay here. And, we would like to honor that as her children, but we're not quite sure what to do. So could you give me a list of places that I could send her? And he was ready for me to just give him assisted living name. And what I actually did for him was he talked about her house and how much her care would cost. And I introduced them to the whole concept of the reverse mortgage. And he thought I walked on water at that point because totally solved their problems. And I don't even do what it is you do, but because I came from the financial advisor background and I know enough to know that is one solution for people who really want to stay in their home. This man was forever grateful because now his mother is where she needs to be. Now, granted, we did talk about how much money they were paying for her home care, which was a bit much. And we did talk about how they could find some different types of home care that could be a little bit less expensive as well.
You mean
So-
unskilled nursing as opposed to skilled nursing, or just helping out?
Right. Exactly. So it's the little things that can really ruin a plan, and that's where the financial advisors come into play. Because the other thing I found out was, so I build this website, and we've got all the people who think it's a great idea, and we're out here marketing it. I write a book about my story with my mother, and I publish the book. I go around and I talk to people about this subject. And you know what I found out as I traveled the country? People don't plan for their care in advance.
No.
No.
And one of the quotes I just heard not too long ago was, people plan to grow old, they just don't plan to grow old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly the truth. They wait until there's a stroke. They wait
Yeah.
until something serious happens, and now the children don't know what mom and dad want.
That's right.
And it might be that the oldest sister, the bossy one, you know, the one in the family, there's always one.
You've met my sister?
I have met.
That's amazing.
I am
and she's
that
watching.
sister.
Sorry, Sharon.
Sorry, Sharon, but Sharon, I'm speaking to you right now. You're going to be bossing
I love this part of the show.
Because there's always that one person in the family who decides what's going to be right for the parents, even if the other siblings don't agree. Maybe they want the parents to move in with them, and maybe the parents don't even want to. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to back this whole thing up so that our parents, the silent generation, and their parents probably, are opening up and beginning to think about, you know what, if something did happen and I needed to go to an assisted living, this is the place I would want to go. Or if the other choice is, if I want to stay at home as long as I possibly can, then let's talk about what requirements your home is going to need to keep you at home and keep you safe. You know, I had another lady who lived in a bi-level. She could not walk. She had 2 canes. She had Alzheimer's. And one of the daughters just fought tooth and nail to keep this woman at home.
Yeah, that's wrong.
It was not alive.
Yeah, safety has to come first.
$10,000 a month. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we're saying is, okay, all of you financial advisors and elder care attorneys out there who are talking to baby boomers, have these baby boomers have these conversations with their parents. If you have clients that are their parents, have these people and the parents have these conversations with their children. In my book, it's called The Kitchen Table Talk. Remember when you were a kid and you had to get called to the kitchen table?
Yeah, that was bad.
Something's up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I say, let's have a kitchen table talk as adults. Let's sit down and let's have this conversation. But it all starts with the senior. It all starts with our parents who need to think about what they really want should this time come. And I shouldn't say should this time come. I should probably say when this time comes. Yes.
Yeah, it's really amazing how... Oh, I'm sorry, keep going. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's really amazing. It's very difficult for people to sit down and talk to insurance agents about life insurance and catastrophic coverage and long-term care, but it seems to be even more difficult to sit at the kitchen table with your children and go, look, it's going to happen. It's just a question of when. Let's talk about it. You know, sometimes the parents don't want to do it. Sometimes the children are like, I don't want to hear about it. You're young, you got a lot of years, but nobody plans to have a stroke. Nobody plans to have a heart attack. It's crazy that we don't talk about that.
It is. So that's really our mission at CareMatch is, twofold. Number one, just trying to get people the information that they need so they can come to our website. Trying to get the people who provide service, the home care services, the assisted livings, the independent livings, and so on, to just allow us to be their marketing partner and get their information out in front of people so that they can actually see you and not be fearful of becoming a referral. And then
John,
the
if
other
you
side
would-
is educate.
Keep going. John, if you would, if you when you put that back up, all our viewers go to carematchamerica.com. Look at this, do some clicking. It's really amazing. Now, what if a financial planner wants to join your network and be educated?
So we created the Care Match Advisor program. I worked with the College of Financial Planning in creating videos that kind of give some ideas about how the system works. Again, like I said, when I first started, I didn't know the difference between independent living and assisted living. Not only just the caregiving piece, but also the difference in price.
Mm-hmm.
So financial planners have the need to know what all of this costs.
I did it to you 2 sections in a row. I asked an amazing deep question with 30 seconds left. Remember, we're talking about financial planners. We're going to take our second break and come right back.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist. I am Dr. B.
At Dr. B Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the individuality of each child
And they also teach us how to take care of our teeth.
and offer an exceptional and gentle dental care experience for all children. With our laser procedures, we are able to provide gentler treatments and faster healing time.
Come meet Dr. B.
They'll be calorie-free.
Call Dr. B's Pediatric Dentistry today.
Hi, my name is Mike Banner, and in addition to being the host of the 62 Who Knew television show, I am also the president of Professional Mortgage Alliance, where our passion is helping seniors entering retirement purchase their dream retirement home without the obligation of a monthly principal and interest payment. Please call me at 727-224-3859 or visit my website at professionalmortgagealliance.com.
Hi, my name is Lisa Marie Kennedy, your real estate expert here in the Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton area. I spent years developing myself, studying the industry so I can serve you and communicate with you the best way possible in your real estate transaction. My phone number is 941-807-2054, or please visit my website at lisamariekennedy.com.
And we are back. Carol Chiarito is going to come right back on screen. Carol, I'm going to try in our last section to not ask you a deep question, just as John's saying we have 30 seconds to go. I kind of set you up there 2 times. But you were just about to say when a financial advisor wants to become part of Care Match America, that's where we were.
Thanks for reminding me. I already forgot.
Me too, but I keep writing it down. What does it mean anything at my age that I have you named the ADLs earlier in the first section? Is there a problem that on a bad day I have 4 or 5 of those? Is that a problem? Who do I call?
Care Match America.
Care Match America, yes.
So yes, we created a training program that teaches advisors a little bit more about the process and the differences between the different types of care. Financially, how do you pay for care? Financially, how do you plan to pay for care? How to have conversations with your clients that you may begin to start noticing changes in their memory. So Mike, if you'd like to give me the name of your advisor.
Yeah.
But it just helps the advisors to know a little bit more in depth. Like I said, when I was looking for my mom, even though I was an advisor, I realized, wow, I can sell people long-term care insurance. I can sell people life insurance. I can help them manage their finances, and I can give them a great retirement. But I'm not able to walk them through this journey if something bad were to happen.
Yeah.
And I talk about in my seminars that I do around the country for advisors, is I really feel that financial advisors and elder care attorneys, for that matter, need to be the lighthouse in the storm of elder care, because that's exactly what it is. And in my PowerPoint presentation, yes, I do have a PowerPoint presentation, there is a picture of a boat, and it's actually a rowboat, and there's one person on each side of the boat, and the oars are in the water. And at the head of the boat, there is the person who is beating the drum. And at the sound of the beating of the drum, the oars go in the water at precisely the right time to create right speed, right? Seen those. The people on that boat are the family and the friends of our seniors and our clients and the people that we care about. And if you're in the boat, you need to have someone who is beating that drum and keeping everyone moving in the same direction. Otherwise, you either spin in circles or you totally tip over. And so that's what we try to do, is teach advisors how to begin to get the people on the boat so that the entire family is involved in this conversation, and it's not just up to that one sister or the one brother. Or, seniors can, if you have two seniors living in a home together, in their home together, they can hide a lot of the issues that are going on in their world quite well. And especially when the kids aren't there all the time to see how many pans are being burned or what's really happening. And they cover up for each other quite a bit. And then you've got one person who is possibly losing their memory, and then the other one who's maybe just not too far behind, and they're trying to remember whose medications are whose and where we're supposed to go today. That's some serious things. And so when they sit down with their financial advisor, the advisor should be in tune with their clients so that they can begin to see these changes as well. And they should know enough about that family that they can pick up that phone call, and have that meeting with the children together as the person who's beating that drum.
Right.
Right. So that's exactly what we were going to ask her.
Yeah, we were going to go ahead. So what we were going to ask her, because you could elaborate it on a little more.
Does your service, is it regional, national? How does it work, and how do you navigate that? Like, if somebody's in Florida, do you have people here directly?
It is national, hence the Care Match America name.
Okay.
We have showcases built more in some areas than others.
That's normal.
But let's say, in fact, right now we're working with a couple of people. One is in Kansas, another one is in Dallas, Fort Worth area, and another one is in northern Florida.
Meaning what, Jacksonville, or where's northern Florida? What do you mean by?
Well, it's actually the Pensacola area.
Okay,
so
good.
you consider that northern? I do.
Yeah, it's the Panhandle. It's the redneck Riviera.
Northern?
Yeah.
Yeah, the redneck Riviera.
The redneck Riviera, yes.
So when someone
Two-story
calls in,
mobile homes, it's beautiful.
when someone calls in that area, we find out where are they looking, where do they want to live, and we, like I said, we have the situation list. We ask them this series of questions, and then we go to work and we start calling around. If we don't have a whole lot of showcases in that area, and if you do go to our website, we have over 55,000 locations on our website.
Is that amazing?
That is amazing.
Some don't have pictures and information, but they can add them. And that's
Right.
the whole thing, is if they're not in there, we try to go find the right place. Because it's not about if they're advertising with us as well.
Mhm.
If they're advertising, that just gives them a little bit more recognition. And if you were to call me, Mike, and say, I'm looking for my mom in Clearwater, Florida, and we're looking for this place, and this is what we need. If those places had showcases on our website, we would just send you the links to those showcases, and you would be able to open them up and see everything about them right there. You wouldn't have to go out to their website and another website and another website. It would just be all right in front of you, and you'd be able to compare those. And so the things that we ask people, so let's say that, in fact, the lady from Florida, her son lives in Atlanta. She lives in Florida by herself now. Her husband passed away. Her son lives in Atlanta. My question is, do you want to live in Florida in the assisted living, or do you want to move closer to your son?
No, somebody's actually just walked into the studio accidentally. That's okay. Stay right here, sir. We'll get
Okay.
somebody to help you. Go ahead.
Because that's the other question that seniors sometimes don't ask themselves is, when I need care, where might
Where do
I
I
go?
wanna be?
Am I going
Yeah,
where I'm at, or am I going to go where my kids are?
yeah.
And so sometimes where people live is not even where they're searching. And that's the other thing that we can do a little bit better, because I guarantee you they don't know what types of care is available in Atlanta if she lives in Florida.
You brought up two very, very sensitive subjects. Number one, even though you did cover it, it is much better. It's a little easier for the financial advisor, and I'm going backwards a little, to be at that kitchen table, to have that first difficult conversation. Say, guys, we just have to talk about it. Is that true or not?
It's absolutely true, because if you were to bring it up with your parents, they go,
Yeah.
shut up, I'm never going to use that stuff. Just
Yeah.
take me out back and shoot me. I'm not going to ever need that. Right? Those are the
I
questions.
wanted to
I'm
do
not
that with
even.
my first ex-wife, but it was against the law. But okay, good. Okay,
But
this
when you
close,
have
though.
someone
This
that's
close.
professional, when you have someone that's a professional in the room and bringing up the conversation, people begin to listen. It's kind of like, do you have kids? You can tell
Right,
your kids
yeah.
the same thing 100 times, but someone else tells them that,
So
and they
true.
go, what? Exactly. The same thing is true with our parents.
Yeah.
And I think that is why I've discovered that the financial advisor is the perfect person. And a lot of people say, well, I don't have a financial advisor. Great, because I have a network of advisors
Yes, you do.
at CareMatch America that I can have help you. And there are so many people that don't work with a financial advisor. They don't think they have enough money to work with a
Right.
financial advisor.
Yeah.
I say, do you have any money at all? Do you have $1 in your pocket? You do? Okay, well, good. We should get you a financial advisor.
To help you
Or you'll
keep that
probably
dollar.
spend all. Right. We're all going to have something. If you have a home, even if you have Social Security income, someone there to guide you through the storm, to be your lighthouse in the financial storm. And so promoting the whole idea of, if you don't have one, let's find you one in your area that can answer the questions and is trained by CareMatch America about what we do and how we look at elder care and elders differently than a lot of the other advisors and quote unquote helpful websites
Yeah.
that you can get on Google.
We have about 30 seconds left in this section, so I'm not going to ask you a deep question, but a couple of things that I do want to cover. The show goes so fast.
It really does.
There's a couple of more things I want to cover when we come back. You said something about, having a plan for care, and it's amazing how many people think they have a plan, and we're going to discuss that when we come back. But there also has to be a plan to pay for the care, and sometimes they leave that out. They have this great plan, but suddenly when they need it, they go, well, that was more expensive than I thought. That's not a plan. But we're going to come back and we'll talk about planning and caring and how we can get 62 who knew to look like Care Match America.
There's one bee that loves going to the dentist. I am Dr. B.
At Dr. B Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the individuality of each child
And they also teach us how to take care of our teeth.
and offer an exceptional and gentle dental care experience for all children. With our laser procedures, we are able to provide gentler treatments and faster healing time.
Come meet Dr. B.
A bee calorie free.
Call Dr. B's Pediatric Dentistry today.
Hi, my name is Mike Banner, and in addition to being the host of the 62 Who Knew television show, I am also the president of Professional Mortgage Alliance, where our passion is helping seniors entering retirement purchase their dream retirement home without the obligation of a monthly principal and interest payment. Please call me at 727-224-3859 or visit my website at professionalmortgagealliance.com.
Hi, my name is Lisa Marie Kennedy, your real estate expert here in the Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton area. I spent years developing myself, studying the industry so I can serve you and communicate with you the best way possible in your real estate transaction. My phone number is 941-807-2054, or please visit my website at lisamariekennedy.com.
Welcome back, and we're going to bring Carol right back on screen, and just kind of as further proof that what you do, Carol, where is Carol? She's coming. There she is. What you do, just as kind of further proof, Nate is going through something right now with her family, and she's going to share that and ask you some questions.
I'd like to know if, do you help people navigate the insurance aspect of it? Myself, my father ended up in a rehab facility. He broke his shoulder. He was in there 3 weeks, fell down, broke his hip. Got switched over to the long-term care side, and I'm the sister that does everything. So I had to learn how to navigate between the insurances and the facility, and I'm still trying to figure it out because our hope is to get him back home. But do you help with all the insurances and stuff, like Medicare, Medicaid, supplement, all that stuff?
We do to a certain extent. Every state and every facility has different nuances, maybe I should say. But we try to get you to know at least where to go and who to talk to, so that you're not just, thumbing through the yellow pages, as it were. But that's another thing that we ask our financial advisors to do in the area, because they do know what to do, and they do know the resources in their own areas. And so if we were to have a financial advisor in your area and you called us, I would refer you to them, and they would take it from there. I have a financial advisor in Denver, and he helped a lady out at our request, and she invited him to her independent living, and he went in and actually analyzed everyone's long-term care policies, because they bought them so long ago. They didn't even know what they covered or how they worked. And I thought that was a great idea, because the lady set up the little coffee and invited all of her friends to come down, and he talked a little bit about it. But so the answer to your question is yes and no. It's there are resources typically within cities that will help people do that. But that is the one thing that if your dad would have sat down with you years ago and explained everything about what he had, would that have made the situation easier for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's my point. That is the problem. We wait for the crisis to hit us, and then we're running around like a chicken with our head cut off, trying to understand how it works, because we don't know.
Yeah, we're playing defense now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's that old cliche, just fixing the barn door after the horses leave doesn't really do that much. And that's what it seems the whole long-term care world is about, besides the denial that they need it. But something we started to talk about right before this last break, most people don't have a plan. And then, although I'm not in the long-term care insurance world, I'm very fond of that world, but I'm not in that world. Even the people with the plan have not made a plan to pay for that plan. And that always staggers me too. And then, of course, there's the people that say, I don't need it, I'm self-insuring. And as I've traveled the country and spoken about reverse mortgages in long-term care platforms, so I'm lucky enough to meet some great long-term care people. Two of them have been on our show, Mr. Bill Comfort, and Mr. Bill Comfort always says something that always drives me crazy. Well, not drives, it hits me as a speaker. And we've had Mark Goldberg as well. But something that Bill said when he was here last was, he said, you see all sorts of surveys, that 7 out of 10 people are going to have that long-term care event. Your dad's having it.
Right.
And then there's another one now that's very popular that says it's only 54%. But Bill looks at it very differently and says, you can take all those figures and forget it, because if it's your mom or dad, either they're going to have it or they're not. That's it. Stop looking at, the other 62%, they're either going to have it or they're not. And more often than not, they're going to. So paying for it is just, it's got to be part of the plan.
Well, absolutely. And I think that one of the misnomers in this industry as well is, when we think of long-term care in the world, we think of the nursing home. Right? We think of that place where we used to visit our great-grandparents. Our parents drug us there. It probably didn't smell so great.
It smelled like
we were
Maalox.
Small right.
That's
or
what it
more.
smelled like in the 70s.
And we were it was very not fun to be there.
No.
So when
Scary.
we picture that with our parents, we're like, that's not happening. But that's also what our parents are picturing, what their grandparents or parents did. That world has changed.
Yeah.
And you can, and so if you want something better than that for yourself, you need to plan for that. But the other thing that the long-term care policies do have, there's long-term care policies, there's long-term care hybrids that go with life insurance now. There's all kinds of different things out there in the market that you can get to, sometimes for less money. But the point is not to spend it all on the home health care when the skilled nursing at the other end of the spectrum is going to require a whole bunch more money.
That's
so you need to be very careful, because home health is considered a long-term care situation. Even if you just need someone to come over and cook your meals and do your shopping, that's
separate your
really
pills for the week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so being really careful about how you're spending it in the early years so that you're not blowing it all so that later on there's nothing. That's another part of that conversation, is knowing when, you know, the whole idea is when you go out to shop for a car or even a house, you kind of have an idea of what you want. You know, let's say we're going to go look for a house. You're going to say, I'd like it to have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and a 3-car garage on 2 acres or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to say right now, I want to buy a house and I need to have it by 5:30 this afternoon, how would you find what you wanted? You would settle for whatever it is you found by 5:30 this afternoon, because we didn't talk about it beforehand. And if for example, if your dad would have said, you know, if something happened to me, this is where I want to go, and look at this is what I have, and here's how it's going to work. Is your dad a veteran?
Yes, he is.
So he can also qualify for veteran benefits, possibly.
The VA has been very good. Believe me, it took a lot of researching and a lot of squeaky wheel on my part with the nursing home and everything. And I've discovered a lot of benefits that I had no idea were even available. So
awesome, you can work for me.
I just hired her 3 days ago.
Yeah, well,
I'm quite the detective.
What are you doing? Every national speaker that has been on the show or that I've had the privilege to listen to around the country always has that one thing. And again, we're going backwards just about 5 minutes, is that everybody of every age perceives long-term care insurance as nursing home coverage. And in reality, and this is where perception beats reality, it's anti-nursing home coverage. That's what it is, and I don't know how we have to convince the public of that, but I think it's the same thing with our reverse mortgage world.
Right.
The public's perception of it is totally different than reality, and both the long-term care insurance world and the reverse mortgage world haven't done a great job yet on making the public understand it's not the long-term care policy of your grandmother's. It's totally different.
And you know that the older long-term care policies only did cover skilled nursing. You had to do that. So whether you have long-term care policies or you don't have long-term care policies, it doesn't really matter. You still need to have the conversations, and you need to know how it's going to happen. If you're going to go on to the Medicaid plan and you're going to look for a Medicaid home, and you know that, go look at the facilities that accept Medicaid so that you can choose the one you want. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's okay to not be able to pay for care, but it's not okay to be put somewhere where you don't want to be. This is your elder golden years. You need to be where you have chosen to be, not where someone else has chosen to put you, or not where someone has settled or what you're settling for. Mm-hmm. And so that's all we're trying to say is get ahead of it. Go out and look at the various places. Yeah, there are some 5-star nursing homes out there, but not everyone can afford them. And you know, it's just like the hotels. You don't always have to stay at the high-end hotels.
Right.
If you can't afford them, you don't, right? You know what you can afford. But know what you can afford. Look for what the choices are there in advance. Tell your family about them and make a plan.
Yeah, make a plan. Have some sort of a plan. You know, there's so many cliches that surround that, but you can't hit a target that you can't see. If you have no plan, it's going to be chaos eventually. So we have about a minute left. We're very proud of about 25,000 viewers per week and getting bigger and bigger. So in the minute that's left, let me thank you very much for being our guest. I hope you will be our guest again in 2019. In fact, more than one time, because we plan on working with each other on some projects. We want to make, we definitely want to link on the new 62 Who Knew website that is being launched on January 1st, Right to Care Match America. If in fact financial planners or individuals, caretakers, children want to reach you, what is the best way to reach you?
The best way to reach me is by email, carol@carematchamerica.com. That's the best way to catch me.
There it is up on the screen.
Yep. If you go to carematchamerica.com, you can also connect through there. There's phone numbers you can reach our concierge if you have questions or just in general. If you're a facility and want to build a showcase, you could do it all on the website. You don't even have to call us. You could just go in, subscribe, build your showcase. You're good to go. And it's very, very cheap.
I hope a bunch of our viewers go to the site. It's up on the screen now. Financial planners, elder law attorneys, scroll through the site. The first time I did, I went, this is what we want the 62 Who Knew to grow up to be. Look how happy those two people are by that tree. It's just, can they be any happier? So we only have a few seconds left. We have 30 seconds left, I was just told. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, Carol.
We still have about 20 seconds left. We have some good guests coming up. I want to wish all the people from 62 Who Knew that have helped us make this successful in the last 16 weeks. Happy Thanksgiving with you and your family. There's a lot to be thankful for out there. Thank you to my new co-host and the new Senior Vice President of Professional Mortgage Alliance. She's going to be on the show a lot in 2019. Have a great holiday this long weekend. Relax. Make a plan.